there's some good shit, you know what I'm saying? We are halfway through the freaking year. We are halfway through 2021. Where did the time go? I have no idea. But anyway, we are halfway through. How exciting. We are now closer to Christmas than we are not, which is on the one hand extremely exciting because I'm one of those people that absolutely freaking loves Christmas, but then there's also on the other hand, like, time is going by too quickly, and each year that goes by so quickly, I get older and I'm not appreciating it, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, you don't care, that's not what you came for. So it's a mixed bag here on this channel, friends. Now, today what I wanted to do is my mid-yearly favorites. So I don't tend to do favorites every month because I sometimes have months where I bring in a lot of makeup into my collection, and then I have other months where I really don't bring in anything at all, so monthlies just wouldn't really work. But I thought that I would kind of give you guys a bit of a roundup of the makeup that I have purchased for the first half of this year, what I'm loving, what I'm not loving. So that's what we're gonna do. Hopefully that sounds interesting to you, and if it does, let's go ahead and do the YouTubey things. You can give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share it around the socials. Let's get to 2,000. Let's do it. So I'm just going to talk about products that I brought into my collection this year specifically and that I have been loving. These are not all brand new releases this year either. Some of these products may actually have been around for a really long time, but they're just new to me this year. Because here on this channel, we just do whatever our heart fancies and we just take whatever journey we like. That's how we roll around here. So I think that is more than enough rambling. Let's just get started. This is in no particular order, by the way, and I have no rhyme or reason to, like, we're not even going to go in product category or anything like that. I'm just going to pick stuff up. Oh, actually, I have one more housekeeping thing. I'm so sorry. My other housekeeping thing is that the video that I filmed a couple of weeks ago, which was the 5 products that you won't regret purchasing, those 5 products are 110 million% 110 million% in my mid-yearly favorites, but I just didn't want to talk about them again because I did that video. So I'm going to link that video down below and up there as well. So first up is a product that when I kind of was looking through my collection, okay, let me just tell you what the product is first. So the first product up is the Zoeva Authentik Skin Foundation. This, like, okay, 2 things. I'm kind of cheating because I did purchase this last year. However, I swear I didn't really wear it a lot last year. I kind of tried it once or twice and was like, yeah, okay, and then moved on. It's this year that I all of a sudden just started reaching for this product every single day. Because I do have that combo skin, I can go really, really dry and then I can go really, really oily. And this is a dewy skin finish. If you've been around this channel for a minute, you know I don't love a dewy skin finish. It doesn't normally look good on me. However, this foundation, when I was looking at my foundation collection to kind of see if anything was my fave, I kind of skipped over it because I was like, yeah. And then I kind of took a step back and was like, you wear this nearly every day, like for the last 3 to 4 months. You really have. Clearly this is a favorite, you keep reaching for it. And I think it's because, especially on my more drier skin days, this is just such a beautiful foundation. It's dewy, but it's not too dewy. It's more just like plumping almost on the face. Your face just looks really healthy and moisturized, but without it actually really adding a solid glow. And I personally really appreciate that because I just want more like a really soft, like I'm talking soft lit from within glow from my foundation. So that's what this provides. It doesn't settle in fine lines. It doesn't settle in pores. Mixed with the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, this is just an unstoppable combination. It's also the foundation that I'm wearing today, if you guys are wondering, but this is just, it's perfection in my eyes. Next up, we are going to talk about a concealer. Now, this concealer is from a brand that I know you guys know have some of my all-time favorite products. I freaking love this brand. And the only reason why I held off on trying this particular concealer was just because I actually felt like it would probably be too light coverage for me. And then I kind of noticed my fave, Kate the Great, she uses this in all of her videos nearly, and I noticed that it really wasn't actually that light of coverage on her, and she talked about how it was hydrating, etc. And I was like, maybe this is something that I would like. So I ended up picking it up. Now it is the Kosas Revealer Concealer. This is in the shade 01. I was going to say 0.1, there's no point there. I have extremely dry textured under eyes. Like there's fine lines under there. There's like, I don't know what you call this little dry skin here, but it's there. They're very dry. I have a lot of pigmentation here. I whinge about my under eyes consistently, I can assure you. And this concealer is really, really beautiful on it. Now, at the moment, this shade on its own is too light. So I do tend to mix this with a slightly darker concealer. I tend to use a more peachy concealer on my first layer and then a brightening concealer over the top to do my under eyes. If you've seen any of my tutorials, you've probably seen me do that. And that's just purely for my pigmentation. If I didn't have the pigmentation, this would be fine with a couple of dots. But this is really quite full coverage. I find that if I mix this with, say, the Makeup Forever Ultra HD or the Pat McGrath concealer, it makes just this ultimate full coverage, perfect concealer for my particular under eye type. And I love it. But I just particularly love that this is super hydrating and it does not dry out my under eyes, but it's also not a hydrating formula that settles into fine lines and looks like cakey on my under eyes, because sometimes that can happen when the concealer is too hydrating. So yeah, it's just Kosas is just exceptional. Like I'm yet to try a Kosas product that I don't absolutely freaking find my holy grail. So let's get the next Kosas product out of the way. I swear to God, they don't sponsor me. They have no idea who I am, I can assure you. But anyway, the next Kosas product is something that I absolutely adore as well, and that is the Cosas Air Brow. Now, this brow gel here is... It's so good. It's so good. So I have mine in the color dark brown. And one of the exceptional things about this brow gel as well, guys, is the shade range. They even have a gray brow gel. I've never seen that before. Maybe it exists, but I personally haven't seen it. They even have a gray one and I believe a red-headed one. Like their shade ranges, Kosas is really expanding their shade ranges to be quite phenomenal. So color me impressed with that. But this brow gel, again, Kosas, by the way, if you don't know, they're a clean beauty brand, they're a vegan beauty brand, and they're also cruelty-free. So if you've ever been looking for a cruelty-free option to the Benefit Gimme Brow Gel, this is your girl. It is so good. Or if you are a huge fan of the Glossier Boy Brow, again, this is your girl. So both of those brow gels are two of my all-time faves. I cannot get the Glossier Boy Brow in Australia, unfortunately. They don't ship here, so I only pick it up when I go to the States. But this is a really, really good dupe to that brow gel and the Gimme Brow, if not better. And the thing that I love about this brow gel the absolute most is on makeup days where I either am too lazy to do my brows or kind of a more natural makeup day, I can just literally put this brow gel through my brows without using a pencil or anything else, and it just fluffs them up. It adds enough color and enough shape to them that I can just literally walk out the door and they look good. So yeah, it's also got strong hold. It will lift your brows up all day, every day, and they won't budge. So highly think that this is well worth the money. Okay, I'm gonna do the next products as just like one big lump of products because they're from the same brand, and I've recently done a video of these, but I can't go past my mid-year faves without talking about the new soft sculpt products from Makeup by Mario. I have a review on these again. I'll link it down below and up there if you haven't watched it. These products are, they're so good. These are some of the best complexion, no, scrap that. These are the best complexion products I think I've nearly ever tried, and I'm not even kidding. They really are. So the two sticks here is, one is a cream blush and one is a like contour bronzer stick. So this is in the color Dusty Rose. This is the cream blush. And then the other one is the color Light in the kind of like, I think what does he call it? A shaping stick? Soft sculpt shaping stick, yeah. Blendability of these products is freaking insane. They just pretty much blend themselves. I will say I've seen a couple of videos of other YouTubers using these and they've struggled to blend the products out a little bit with the brush on the other side. And to be honest, I don't use this. I just continue to use my own makeup brushes. You definitely can. And I think if you're not, I don't know, if you want that frost-free side, you can do it. But I just find that this stick is a lot easier to blend out, especially with a sponge. It just really melts. I'm also wearing the contour stick right now as well, you guys. But I just find that the contour stick just really melts into the skin like butter. It just like blends out beautifully. It's just flawless. And the blush stick is so good, and it goes over powder phenomenally, and it adds this soft perfection of a glow to your face. It's just divine. The other two products as well, the bronzer, this is in the shade Light, is my all-time favorite bronzer. I'm wearing the bronzer today as well. This bronzer is perfect. Perfect, 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 perfect. I have never experienced a formula like this. I have used this for well over 2 weeks now, and I can assure you, I've never used this and it has gone on patchy or anything. It just goes on so absolutely flawless. It's the most perfect shade for my skin tone. It really does look like I'm just healthy and glowy. It's like a matte finish, but not too matte. It's just, it's so freaking good, and I no longer want to use any of my bronzers in my collection, which is really bad. But I mean, obviously I will use them, but like I just want to use that one all day, every day, you know? And then this blush, I love this blush so much. I love this blush. I've never been a massive, massive blush person, you guys, but my God, this blush is special. It adds the most perfect finish to your skin when you use this blush. Again, doesn't go on patchy, very pigmented, so just be mindful of that. But when you add it on top of the skin, it adds a healthy glow. And I keep saying that because it's glowy, but it's not. I don't want to scare off the people that don't love super glowy products, because it's not like that. Like, if you're someone that just wants to look like you've got super plumped up, juicy kind of, well, juicy is not the right word, just like super plumped up, like glow skin, but it's not like sweaty looking. Like, I don't like that sweaty looking look. It's not for me, okay? This will give you just that glowy, like, I'm just radiant. I'm just radiant. It's just, it's so good. It's my favorite blush formula of all time. I'm not kidding. Now, speaking of blush, I do have a couple of other blushes, even though that one, look, the Makeup by Mario one really is my all-time favorite blush formula of all time, but I do have other blushes that I have recently introduced to my collection that I really have been enjoying as well for other reasons. And, you know, I don't want to have a conversation about why I have all of these blushes in my favorites at the moment, because I'm just going through a blush phase. Aren't we all though? Anyway, who cares? Next up on the blush train is the Pat McGrath Divine Blushes. I think they're called Divine Rose Blushes or something like that. I have the color Fleurtatious and Desert Orchid. I think it's Desert Orchid, yeah. Desert Orchid is on my cheeks today, and as you can see, it just adds a really nice, almost like tanny blush color to my skin. And this has, so she calls this Desert Orchid formula like a shimmer formula, and this one a matte. This is definitely matte, and this is a beautiful shade. I love the cool toneness, like almost purpley kind of color of this blush. It's really a perfect blush for every single day wear. It's just a very subtle kiss of color on your cheeks, and it's beautiful. It doesn't go on patchy or anything like that. Like, the Fleurtatious color is just, it's really, really pretty, especially for someone like my skin tone. She calls Desert Orchid Shimmer though, and I was hesitant getting this because I hate shimmer blushes. I hate them so much. They are not for me in any way. I feel like I'm changing my tides though for some reason, but honestly, anyway, this isn't shimmery though. And like you can see from my cheeks, like it doesn't look shimmery. In fact, I'll put a little bit more on now just because I feel like you probably can't see it as much. You can in real life, but it looks a little bit washed out on camera. But yeah, you can just see, like, see how it just adds, like, again, just a natural glow. So when I think of some shimmery blushes, I think of like almost like highlighters. Like, I think of that new NARS Orgasm palette, and I'm like, no, thank you. No, thank you. That's a pure highlight, and my pores, you'll be able to see my pores from outer space, but this doesn't do that. It just, again, it's just this beautiful natural glow, and I love it, and I'm here for it. And I love the colors, and I think that's the difference between the Mario and the Pat blushes, is the color selection. Both formulas are lovely. I do like the Mario formula just a smidge more, but I think the color selection between the two brands is what sets them apart and is the reason why you would get both, if that kind of makes sense, you know, if you're someone that likes excessive makeup like me. Okay, let's talk about lipsticks. Now, Huda Beauty released the new cream, I think they're called cream power bullets. It doesn't say the name, it just says cream lipstick. Anyway, she released new lipsticks this year, and these are that good, it's not even funny. So I have the shade Baby Face and the shade Empress. I'm just gonna swatch them for you guys. These are, if you're someone that wants fuss-free lip products, these are for you. So the top shade is Babyface and the bottom shade is Empress, and they are just the most perfect nudes. Like, honestly, Babyface looks like it's almost going to be a little bit too dark on your lips, but when I put Babyface on my lips, it actually really just is an absolute perfect nude lipstick. And the reason why I say these are fuss-free is just that they're almost like a glossy, balmy formula to wear. So you can really put these on. You don't need to look in the mirror when you're putting these on. You don't have to worry about kind of like going about your day and it going all over your face, or being a liquid lipstick where it's like awkwardly wearing away and you have to like take it off properly. You can really just honestly, anywhere you are, just quickly pull these out of your handbag and throw it on and it looks good and you don't have to worry about it. And I'm all about that life, because a lot of the time I won't wear a lot of lips products if they're high maintenance. I really just want to put my lip product on and be comfortable and not have to worry about it, and that's what these do. And the shades of this, like, I only have the two obviously, but the shades of this whole range that she released, I just personally think are absolutely gorgeous, and I want every single shade. I really do, because I love them, and these live in my handbag. Like, they just live in my handbag because they just look good, and they're kind of colors that would look good with every single makeup look as well. So yeah, I really can't rave about the Huda new cream lipsticks enough. I just adore them. We are on the home stretch. I promise you we don't have much left to go through, but I can't not talk about some eyeshadow palettes that I have been loving so far this year. So I'm going to talk about these very quickly because I feel like most of you probably know. But the first one is the Natasha Denona Glam palette. This freaking palette, you guys, again, if you've seen any of my videos, you know that I was really hesitant in picking up another Natasha Denona palette because I had a terrible experience with the Leela palette. I just really did. And dropping that much coin on a palette that isn't going to come through for me and work, I was so nervous. But this palette is just spectacular. I reach for this on the everyday. In fact, if I only had this palette and nothing else in my collection, I can assure you I would be a happy gal. It is perfect for every single occasion. It is perfect for a very light makeup day, work day, a full-on glam look, whatever it is that you need, this palette has got it for you. It is beautiful. The quality is beyond exceptional. Beyond. These mattes basically like put themselves on your eyes, blend themselves out, and create their own eye look without you even having to do a damn thing. Like, it's just the quality, the metallics are beautiful. Everything about this palette is actually perfection. A colorful palette that I recently purchased in my collection, and I'm so sorry because this is actually discontinued, so I'm sorry. This is the Angelica Nyqvist and Kaleidos Club Nebula palette. Look at the color scheme. Look at the greens. Oh, but the best thing about this palette, honestly, you guys, is the quality. I have never had colorful eyeshadows perform like this. The metallics are so beautiful. It's just such a unique, outstanding, like, the quality of indie makeup is out of this world. Out of this world. It is just the most exceptional quality. Some of the best eyeshadows I have ever tried. Do not skip out on looking at indie brands. Trust me. Anyway, this palette, I'm not going to rave about it anymore because it is discontinued, but I wanted to give it an honorable mention because I really was like mind blown with the quality of it. It's just gorgeous. Moving on to a more neutral wearing palette. This is the Lunar Beauty Eternal Eclipse palette. I love this palette, you guys. Again, I actually find myself reaching for this palette quite a lot. I don't know if you can see this shade in particular. I wear pretty much every day. Honestly, if I just want, a lot of the time if I'm running really late for work, which is most days, I'll just grab a shade like this and throw it all over my eye and kind of call it a day. But this is the palette that I pretty much reach for most days if I'm doing that. But also, this is the palette that if I want a glam look, if I'm going out at night or something like that, this is what I'm reaching for, because this is the vibe that it gives me. It's like that basic bitch palette, but for nighttime, and I am here for it. I live for it, and these goddamn blues are the most spectacular blues I have ever put on my eyeballs. That's all I'm saying. Now, this last palette I think might nearly be my favorite palette in my collection, even over my Pat McGrath palettes. Nearly. I would say all my Pat McGrath palettes and this palette is tied. I know. And this is the Sydney Grace Cross Mel Thompson Tiny Marbles palette. You guys, Sydney Grace's quality of eyeshadow formula is unlike anything I have ever tried in my entire life. They are the mattes. The mattes are so silky, so buttery, so smooth, just not patchy, so easy to work with, just absolutely stunning. The metallics in this palette are like wet. It's like you've picked up a liquid eyeshadow and you're putting it on your eyes. They are insane. They are insane. I'm not kidding. The quality of this eyeshadow palette, it is sold out quite regularly. It will come back, but it is sold out quite regularly. So I recommend signing up to their like mailing list or whatever, or like notify me, and they'll let you know when it comes back in stock. And honestly, if you can pick it up, you will not regret spending the money on this palette because the quality is insane, and it is not anywhere close to being as expensive as a Pat McGrath palette, but the quality is so far up there, if not better, to be completely honest with you, than the Pat McGrath formula. And I'm only saying that because for me, Pat McGrath's like special shades are where it's at. Like if she didn't have those special shades, I don't know if I would like rave about those palettes as much as I do. It's all about those 4 special shades that she puts at the end of her mothership palettes that just get me in. But this whole palette with all of these metallics and all of these mattes are freaking phenomenal, like mind-blowing phenomenal. So honestly, I can't rave about this enough. I really highly recommend going and checking it out and giving it a go, or any of their other shadows, not specifically this palette. It's just like, they're good. There's some good shit, you know what I'm saying? So these are products that I am just absolutely loving, raving about, and pretty much reaching for every single day, and I just feel like I need to share them. I just need to share the love for these products with you guys. Now let me know, what are your current mid-year faves? What are you loving right now? Let me know a couple of products. Maybe there's some gems in there that I need to try. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you're watching until this point, you are a real one, and thank you so much. And I hope that you have an amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time. Bye. So a quickle. Oh my God, I can see the freaking candle, like the flames of the candle in my monitor, and I thought something was on fire, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, let's carry on. I don't even know what I was saying now.